Hey everybody, happy God's New Year. Today is actually the spring equinox, which means the sun is crossing gate 4 as described in the book of Enoch, and we are in the first day of God's New Year. Today's not actually counted though. Today is an intercalary day. So in a nutshell, God's calendar is 364 days, with 4 intercalary days which mark the beginning of each new season, when the sun is in its proper gate. And on those days is either an equinox or a solstice. Once the solstice or the equinox occurs, the next day is the first day of the set of the 3 months, which is that season. So you have 3 months, which are 30 days each, and that accounts for the season. Then you have a solstice, which is not counted on the calendar, and then the next day begins the first month of the next set of months. And the equinoxes and solstices are actually what's described in the Bible when they talk about new moon festivals. It actually has nothing to do with the moon. The term that they've translated from that is often a mistranslation. It comes from the term Rosh Chodesh, which means new months. And that's exactly what it is. You have the solstice, and then the next day is the beginning of the next set of the new month, the new season. So we actually have 4 new moon festivals in Scripture, and it's the equinoxes and solstices, which again is today. Today is the spring equinox, the first day of God's calendar year. So tomorrow is the first day of the first month, which is when we'd start counting out for the feast days. And if you go look through all of Scripture, anything prophetic timelines like the book of Daniel, his timeline for the end times, if you divide it out, it'll come to 360 days in a year. That's because he's not counting the 4 intercalary days. Because again, you don't count those. That is when the sun is shifting its gate, which marks the new season. But I actually want to show you guys something cool, how I know that today is the equinox. This right here is called an equatorial armillary sundial. Now, when you have this set up properly, this bar, the gnomon, is set at the proper degree to where you live. And then this is pointed directly north. And then when the sun comes down, it hits this bar, and then it shines whatever time it is right here when it's set up properly. Now, you know it's the equinox because the sun is hitting this bar, and it casts a shadow on the time bar. So you can't tell what time it is during the days of the equinoxes and solstices. I know it's a little hard to tell, but if you can see there's a shadow cast on the bar, you can't tell what time it is. But if I move this just ever so slightly, you can see the sun come down, right? And then you can see it shining a light on that, or casting a shadow on that bar. When you have the proper sundial, you can tell when the equinoxes and when the new moon festivals are. Happy New Year to you all.